from needles and sex.
Yeah,
this is a
unless
fucking
it's Pam
baby.
Anderson's baby, dude. I wouldn't put anything in that kid, you know. And no, if I don't even know if she has any kids or not. And I love Tommy Lee, so I shouldn't. I don't know.
Well, you fucked up.
I already done, dude.
It's a joke. What are you gonna do? It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, sorry, everything's okay.
I feel the same way about Bobby. I don't know him as well as I know Tulsi, though. Tulsi is.
Yeah, I don't know her.
Tulsi's a good friend of mine. I love her. She's great. She's an awesome person. She's like a legitimate awesome person. You know, that lady, she served as a congresswoman for 8 years, and the whole time she was against this divide of right versus left. She was always trying to be cool with everybody. She served overseas. She was deployed overseas in a medical unit, man. So she was helping people that got blown up by the war twice. That's where she got that crazy white streak in her hair.
Really?
That all came from the stress of being overseas, working in a medical unit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, can stress be that compartmentalized inside of you and it comes out like that?
Oh, your body's, you can't imagine. You know, I was just talking to my friend Bruce about this last night. He was a cop in Austin. We were talking about the amount of death that most police officers see and the stress that has on you. And what he was telling me is you take like a cop that has like 20 years in the job, what they see is probably 10x what the average soldier who's deployed sees. Because you're seeing murder all the time. You're seeing car accidents all the time, suicide all the time, domestic violence all the time. You're pulling people over. You never know if you're going to get shot. He goes, most of these guys are fucked up because they're just constantly seeing this stuff. Constantly.
Oh, yeah. I'd be at home. I'd hear somebody open a jar of Pringles and I'd fucking pull on them, you know? Yeah. You
hear that top
pop? Yeah. What's going on?
What's happening?
Dude, we had a police officer on a few years ago, or about a year ago. Can you look this up, Jamie? Is it okay to ask Jamie to look something up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sure. It's a police officer.
How long ago?
Yes. This guy, retired police officer, Sergeant Brad White. This guy was super unique. He lived in Los Angeles, but he told this story. He was he didn't have any political thoughts. He just told stories of what it was like being a police officer, and he told the story of his first day on the job. They're chasing a guy. The guy runs into traffic, gets hit by a vehicle and killed, right? So even as just a human being, like you're just doing a job, but then you're like trying to compartmentalize or how do, you know, what effect did I have on this? What are my, you know, like he told this story of a mother had called and said that her son was thinking about committing suicide, right? The mother meets him in the yard. He shows up. He's a police officer. It's in outside of Los Angeles, I think in Whittier Police Department. I could be wrong. He shows up. The mom meets him outside. They see the son comes into the doorway, right? It's like a glass door with another door behind it, kind of. Takes his own life, right? Kills himself right in front of them. So now he's standing there with the mom.
Oh my God.
Now he has to console the mother, then go inside of the home. He walks inside. The door won't open because the man's body is there, right? He's having trouble getting it open. Even just that moment. He gets it open. Something falls off of the ceiling down the back of his shirt. And it's part of the guy, his brain matter. He had shot himself on the ceiling. So I know that's graphic and stuff. And then for the next 3 or 4 hours, he has to take care of this scene with this little feeling between his bat wings or whatever what is that?
Bulletproof vest?
No, inside of your body.
Shoulder blades.
Oh, yeah,
shoulder blades. Yeah.
And it's brain matter.
Yeah. And it's just like, that's just a regular guy. You know, he might not even have finished college or something, you know? It's like, so just the baffling amount of stuff that police go through. Anyway, I was trying to just like, those are stories that stuck with me when I spoke with that guy. It was like unbelievable.
It's just conveniently ignored by most people who will never be police officers. And then that was one of the more offensive things about the George Floyd thing, all this defund the police shit, where people rose up and were saying, defund the police, and I mean defund the police. And Kamala Harris was one of them. She was out there tweeting, defund the police. And because of that, crime just ramped up in certain communities, and so many people wanted the police back, but it's, you know, It's a long process to try to, and to this day, most of these cops don't have good morale. They still have this feeling of defund the police was just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's hard to get people to be cops now. They don't want that fucking job, and why would they? It's a fucking hard job.
Yeah, and they don't even. I think the highlight, like they used to play like softball in our area against like the fire department. That was like the highlight of it. You know, it was like having like competition. You know, but I don't even like if you defund them, they're not even super funded. You don't ever see a cop with like a boat. Or you know what I'm saying? Like you don't
a baller cop.
Yeah, you don't see a fucking
right. If you think about how hard that job is, like hard jobs should pay more. Right?
Yeah, dude.
You know, like what is the? I think if you paid them too much, though, then they just quit. Like I got enough. I'm out.
Yeah, I don't know if you tough.
Because like, what's harder, being a rapper or being a cop? It's fucking way harder being a cop.
Oh yeah, I think
but rappers get paid way more.
That's true. Cops just, I think a lot of cops will start making albums from their cars. You know? But there really should be there should be a great producer that goes on a ride along with a police officer. This is going to happen, watch. And makes a dope track with a cop.
Right.
And you could make a dope and you'd have so much great visuals.
Right.
And the proceeds go towards supporting the police department.
Yeah, like the cop could like be saying shit from behind the wheel and you can
'em.
sample that.
Yeah.
Sample that and turn them into songs.
We got them. In pursuit.
Different codes. 5150. Isn't that when someone's crazy?
Oh, yeah. That's crazy right there. That's 50. I think 44.
Look at, is this cop rap? What is this? Grammy-nominated rapper, Sacramento police officer records new deployment recruitment video.
Pull him up, man.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I looked. I just figured there could have already been one.
What's that, 5150?
What do you have to do to be a Grammy-nominated? Grammy-nominated doesn't impress me. Like Grammy-winning, that impressed me. Grammy-nominated?
Dude, my Grammy
Who nominated you?
Yeah. My Grammy will nominate anybody. She liked Traveling Wilburys.
You didn't?
I didn't. I mean, if my grandfather showed up and said, hey, they're good, I respect that a little bit more, but that's just me, you know. Lainey Wilson, I love. She's great. Red Clay Strays, Stephen Wilson Jr.
Red Clay Strays are great.
They're good, huh?
Yeah. There's good music out now. It's a good time for music because, like, you could find things so easily. You know, you don't have to wait for the radio. You just find stuff. People send you stuff. Like, in the green room all the time, someone will play something. I go, what is this? And I'll Shazam it. Like, oh, shit. It's nice. I mean, that Shazam thing, that feature is so huge.
Yeah.
You know, on Google Pixel phones, there's an option to just have it on all the time. So anytime a song is playing, you can look down on your phone and it'll tell you what song's playing.
I didn't know it.
Do they still do that? I think that's still a feature. I think it's only on the Google Pixel.
What was I thinking about? I feel all over the place today, Joe. You ever feel like that?
Oh, yeah.
Like
But
you
I haven't
open
been
your life.
sleeping. I haven't been
I didn't
sleeping.
sleep well.
2 days in a row, I didn't sleep. The night of the election, I could not sleep. I got home, I was wired.
Did
I
you jerk off or not that night?
No, I just sat in front of the TV. I was watching professional pool, sitting in front of the TV. I called Dave Smith. Me and Dave Smith talked on the phone at like 3:30 in the morning. Yeah. And then I finally went to bed, and my wife woke up. She was like, what happened? Who won? And I was like, Trump won in a landslide.
You're like the Spurs.
And then she was up. I'm like, it was a landslide. Like, it was a crazy landslide. It was the red wave that everybody thought was going to happen in 2022. Hey, Jamie, I'm hearing more and more about what we talked about yesterday, about the amount of people that voted for Biden in 2020 versus the amount of people that voted for anybody in 2016 and for anybody in 2024. That they're still saying it was a giant jump.
That's what I see too.
A lot of people think it's bullshit.
Could be.
There's a lot of people that are getting super suspicious about the 2020 numbers because Biden got more votes than anybody by like 20 million. It's really crazy if you look at the chart.
Well, did they say that the most people they'd ever seen at voting stations were this year?
Yeah.
That's what I don't know what the visual report is for this year. But then
This is the most consequential election I think I've ever felt.
For sure.
For sure. The way people felt about it, too. The people on the left thought they were convinced that Hitler was coming. They're convinced that some right-wing authoritarian is going to come down and take away all your rights. And
Well, that's the media does that.
100%.
But
100%. Not what he was saying, not what he did for 4 years in office. It's all the media. And we're all victim of it a little bit, because you won't defend him or support him if you hear all these things about him, because then you got to defend the fact that, no, he didn't really do that. He's not really a felon. There were only misdemeanors. Texas voter turnout falls in 2024 election despite record registration numbers. This is just Texas, right? 61% cast ballots, near 6% drop from the 2020 presidential race. But the difference in the numbers nationwide is what I'm interested in, because the nationwide numbers they're pretty consistent. Like through the entire, like if you look at 2012, it's consistent with 2016, which is also consistent with 2024. The anomaly is 2020.
Yeah.
In 2020, everything goes way up. Way up.
Maybe because people were sitting at home and so bored and they said they didn't have much to do, you think?
Could be. Because it was during COVID. Could be a lot of people weren't working, so they did have the opportunity to vote. Voting should be a national holiday.
I agree. I don't understand.
It's crazy that you give some people a complication. Like, imagine if you have a shithead boss. You're like, I got to vote. Why did you vote early? Because I was working for you, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Let me go. Let me go vote.
Yeah, I mean, they give Christopher Columbus as a
fuck
holiday,
that
dude.
guy.
The Lieutenant Dan of the 1400s. That dude gets a fucking holiday, okay?
Yeah, why don't you go
But
read
you don't get a
what that
day
guy
off?
did? Let's get rid of Christopher Columbus. They changed it to Indigenous Peoples Day. And the Indigenous people are like, thanks, after you wiped out 90% of us, thanks for giving us a day. How about we keep that day? That's fine. But how about we have an election, national election holiday? We could do it one more holiday.
Celebrate it. It's a great day. People can rejoice. And then
Cookouts.
It would take a lot of stress off people, too. It's like today's also a day of celebration. It's not this day that I have to sneak away from work and be sneaky or whatever.
You should have
eat in my car.
It should be a paid holiday.
Yeah.
You should expect to have to pay your employees on the day that election comes, because everybody should be able to go vote.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. We should make it. We'll talk to Trump about it. Making a nationally mandated holiday.
I don't have his number. I don't know. I mean, there's a guy in his department. I have his number.
We could hook it up. I know some people.
Yeah, dude. It was just what a crazy week.
Yeah, very crazy. Well, you were one of the first guys to have him on the podcast. Did you have any hesitancy having him on at all?
My brother's a lot smarter than me, and he said, "Hey, man, I just want you to think that there could be some reflection from people if you have him on, right? Like some people could be upset about it,
Right.
You know." And I thought about that a little bit, and I was like, well, I don't really, I don't know, I have political thoughts and beliefs and stuff like that, and it's hard to find a group that really embodies them. And if anything, right now for me, it seems like I don't even feel like these new parties are the same as the old parties.
They're not.
It doesn't seem like this isn't Democrats and Republicans. There's something else transmorphing right now.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I just want to be able to have a chance to talk to this guy, And the main thing for me was like you talked about Dana White earlier. He's really, I know that you guys work together, and he, I knew that Trump's brother suffered from addiction, right? I knew that, right? I heard that or something, and I looked into it. It's like, okay, he lost his brother. His brother died of addiction. So I was like, well, that's interesting to me. And I wish that I wonder if there's more to Donald Trump. Like, is there more of a way to talk with him about something that means, try to get an emotional more of an emotional well to him than it seems like that's in the public.
Well, there was a thing that was going on for a while where you were platforming people. This was the idea. Like, if you had on a guy like Trump, you were platforming this bad person. This was this thing.
Yeah, I didn't think about that at all.
But it's an authoritarian way to regulate conversations that let you know more about people. And it's stupid because people don't want to have a nuanced perspective on anybody. Look, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to Kamala Harris. I'm like, I bet there's a person in there. I bet I can get to that person.
Yeah.
I wanted to find that person. I don't want to hear all the speeches. I don't want to hear. I was raised middle class. I don't want to hear any of that shit.
She's a roller skater. You know that?
No, I would love to find that out.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to her about all kinds of shit. I literally said, like, because there was a few restrictions of things they didn't want to talk about. But I said, I don't give a fuck. I go, get her in here. Like, whatever you want to talk about. And they want to know if I edit. I'm like, there's not going to be any editing. There's no editing.
Yeah.
We're not going to edit. But
yeah, that's the same thing they asked us. Is there an edit? You know?
I just wanted to talk. I feel like